Hi, everybody. So, a little backstory. I could not figure out how to get the original video that I had completed uploaded onto YouTube. And in the process, I deleted it. So, story of my life, right? But everyone was excited, and I'm excited to get this first video out to introduce to you all Rhonda's Rides. Welcome to my channel. To kind of tell you what it's all about, give you a little mission and vision um, on the channel, and then tell you ways that you can help. And stay tuned to the end because I'm going to announce our first giveaway. So I know that this is live and I don't expect anyone to be on it with me right now. And if you are, thank you. If you're not, that's fine too. It was kind of a short notice because I wanted to get something uploaded today. So, for those of you who know me, thank you and welcome. And those of you who don't know me, my name is Linda Jackson. Dr. Linda Jackson, actually. I will never get used to saying that. It's just still so surreal. And I'm so very excited. I will clarify, I'm not a medical doctor. I am a nurse doctor and a very proud nurse doctor. I've come a very long way. I'm also the author of The Chicken Catcher's Daughter, a book that will be available hopefully within the next couple of months. I'm currently halfway through, and it's got to go through its publishing process. And when you purchase this book, it just tells about my struggles and my success and how I got to where I am today. And some proceeds, part of the proceeds for that book will go to Rhonda's Rides to help support the cause here. So it maybe can motivate, give you a little bit of inspiration, and tell you my journey while also helping us achieve our goals here on this channel. So first off, I want to say I'm not a YouTuber. I don't like videos and pictures. You're going to see me as minimum as possible. You'll hear me. I have no problem talking. I love to talk. That's not an issue. And the videos will get better as I go and I learn and I get people to help me. So with that being said, if you have any video expertise you're willing to bring to the table and help me out, just email. It's on the channel, Rhonda's Rides at gmail.com. I would love to hear from you. So like I said, my name is Dr. Linda Jackson. I am an 8th grade dropout. I had to quit high school when I was 15 to take care of my brother. I was in the 8th grade at that time, and it was my turn. I made myself notes because I'm a list person, and like I said, I'm not a YouTuber. It was my turn to take care of him. So just like that, overnight, I had to stay home and take care of my brother. At the point at this point in time, where Rhonda's Rides comes into play, where the inspiration for this channel came through, I was raising 9 children, and I was pregnant. I had 7 nieces and nephews that I was responsible 100% for, and I had 2 of my own children and was pregnant with my 10th child. I was working as a CNA at a local nursing home, making $10 an hour. 10 kids, $10 an hour. That is exactly as rough as it sounds. It was very, very stressful, to say the least, for everyone involved, with adults and children alike. It was a very, very stressful situation for us all. I was working 60 plus hours a week, spinning my wheels. And I had side hustles, just to make ends meet, because at $10 an hour and 60 hours a week, you're still barely making ends meet with that many people and the bills coming due monthly. So I was put on bed rest whenever I had justice at the nursing home. I had to turn in a notice and tell them I had to go off work early. And I went to the car lot. I had a car. I was paying my car payment just like everybody else does. I wanted to be honest and let them know what was going on, so that way, whenever they could work with me, I wouldn't lose my car. However, when I talked to them, their solution to my problem was they kept the car that day. And there I was. And they said that they would resume the payments whenever I had the child and was able to go back to work. So there I was, 8 months pregnant, sitting on the curb, no transportation. And if you have ever not had reliable transportation, this is not the first time in my life I've not had reliable transportation. But this was the first time that it was out of my hands like this. And it was so dire and it was so hurtful. It was just awful. My sister had to drive from Texas to make sure that I got back and forth to the hospital, make sure that I could have my baby. And then my brother gave me a little dilapidated truck. He was giving me something from nothing. It was the best that he had, and he provided that for me. So that way I could take my baby back and forth to the doctor. Was anxious. I wanted to get back to starting work as soon as possible so that way I could get back into a vehicle. And in the meantime, the two people who inspired this channel, Rhonda and Keith Simpson, did the unthinkable. They told me to meet them in town, and I thought they were just meeting to give me a 220 wire for our home because we needed it for some wiring issues we were experiencing. And instead, they had me the 220 wire and a minivan. A minivan. I couldn't believe it. Keith handed me those keys, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that two people, I'd met them at a diner during one of my side hustles, and they had helped me with Christmas, helped me throughout the year when we were struggling. And I can't believe they were so selfless and that they believed in me and that they seen my struggle. Because unless you've lived it or you're submersed in it, it's hard to explain. But you all know what I'm talking about. Looks like we're about to have a storm here. And I have tried so hard to get this video done. And YouTube was I'm not a YouTuber, but this is literally the only place that I knew I could reach the amount of people that I need to reach to make the impact that I needed to make. And now it's storming. So Rhonda and Keith gave me a vehicle. They didn't just give me a vehicle. They gave me a tool to change my life. They freed up much needed gas money and money from those car payments. I didn't have a car payment anymore. And they paid for 6 months worth of insurance. I just couldn't believe that these humans did this for me. And so that's the concept. Humans helping humans. I got that car in 2012 after Justice was born. And I started college. Many encouraging people. And I started college at University of Arkansas Community College at Morrilton. And I had not stepped in the classroom since I was in the 8th grade. And I was scared. And let me tell you, the foundation I developed at this community college it's phenomenal. I completely know that they contributed to my success. The staff and the faculty there were so encouraging to me. I cannot believe this. It's a nice change, though, because it was hot out here all day. When I was trying to do the rest of this, it was really hot. So this is a nice breeze coming through here. We'll make do with it. And so I got there, and they literally gave me the foundation that I needed to keep going. I earned 2 associate degrees at their institution. I transferred it over to Arkansas Tech University, where I got my bachelor in sociology and my bachelor in nursing. I practiced nursing for 3 years. And then I went on and started University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, where I recently on May 10th graduated with my doctorate in nursing and my family nurse practitioner. And I studied Master of Science in Nursing and Education as well. So this one minivan, this one tool provided me what I needed. I had the will, I had the drive. I just needed a hand up, not a hand down. And there are so many people out there like me. You know how many times I've heard during my education that there are people who honestly thought that we were poor because we're lazy. And if we wanted more, we would just do more. There was no more of me to give. There was no more of my dad for him to give. Sometimes you're just poor because you're poor. I was working 60 hours a week, and I couldn't get my employer to pay me a living wage. $10 an hour. That's 10 kids. That's $1 an hour per child and no room for anybody else or anything else. It was awful, but I knew the only way I was going to get out is if I used that opportunity. If I used that tool that Rhonda and Keith provided me and got out. So that's when I became Dr. Jackson, and how I became Dr. Jackson and the people behind who inspired this channel. My little puppies want me to hold it, so they're picking up. So I had an 8th grade education at that time. I'd given birth to 10 kids. I couldn't help them with given birth to the 10th child. And I couldn't help them with their homework. I couldn't do anything for them. Absolutely nothing. If they needed anything, they would have to go to someone else. I didn't know how to do math. I didn't have transportation. And that's a debilitating. I cannot stress enough how horrible not having transportation, especially with that many children, how horrible that is. It's just really bad. And we needed that help, and they seen that. They didn't judge me. They didn't ask questions. They didn't know that I wanted to go to college. They just seen me for me and seen my struggle, and they helped me. And I just couldn't believe they did that. I was so very happy. You know, we think when we struggle that no one cares. It's just that they really don't know. And that's what this channel is for.